Yeah, I understand. You know, I've been locked up since I was 12. You know, it's just a different way of thinking.
Okay.
That's my world. Violence is my world. You know? That's what raised me. You know, if you want a scary thought, the state. That's my dad, really. And so, you think you get on, you know, people about not raising their kids right. Well, the state raised me all the way from foster care on up. So, I'm a product of the state. You know.
Welcome to 8MC Investigations. We have new content every week, so if you like that, subscribe. I would like to give a shout out to all of our members. Thank you for going above and beyond to support us. We will be putting a lot of extras on Patreon, so if you're into more of a deep dive, come check us out over there. The link is in the description. Okay, enough rambling. Let's get into it. January 4th, 2006, Ocala National Forest, Florida. 2 overnight campers were fatally shot with an AK-47. The two were 26-year-old John Parker and 26-year-old Amber Peck from Gainesville, Florida. Both had gunshot wounds to their bodies and one to the head. The shootings happened on a Wednesday, and their bodies were not discovered until the following Saturday, when one of the victims' parents went out to the forest to search for them. By the following Tuesday, detectives had a lead on who might have committed this heinous crime, thanks to a good Samaritan that gave a ride to a seemingly injured Leo Boatman. During Leo's first interrogation regarding the campers he killed in Ocala National Forest, he brought up a homicide out of Clearwater, Florida, and Pinellas County detectives came to talk to him about it. Both of those interrogations are linked in the description below. This is the third round of questioning that happened on that day. It gets much more into the mind of Leo Boatman and the possibilities of why he is the way that he is. Leave a comment below, let us know what you think of this guy. Definitely one of the stranger subjects we've had on this channel. But first, let us have a moment of silence for the victims in this case.
Okay, that turned into a marathon today, huh? All right. I guess they're done talking to you. Now, I wanted to ask you a couple other things. First of all, the state attorney's office is having a meeting Friday with the grand jury about the case here from the Ocala National Forest. And that's for you because this is an invitation to grand jury.
Also, I know my lawyer's gonna say no and refuse.
Okay.
So
Well,
since I can't get a hold of them, I'll basically go.
Okay, you need to let the people at the jail know you want to go, and
Well, can you do that for me? Because I really don't know. They don't trust me. They don't really get
we'll
word.
tell them you want to go. But you got to talk to your lawyer. I would suggest you talk to your lawyer about that. We talked about. Sorry?
Well, one thing I didn't mean to cut you off. But how do I talk to my lawyer? I mean, I don't get that.
All right, well, I'll call the prosecutor and tell him to get a hold of your defense attorney and tell him that you really want to talk to him.
Because this SP thing, you gotta remember, you know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. You want me to have your attorney come see you? All right. Here's the deal. That's your invitation. Now, let me ask you about one other thing. You and I talked about the 2 murders in the forest that you committed. You've also given the detectives from Clearwater a pretty good picture of what happened in that murder case. There's a case from Tampa where a guy was shot with an AK-47. It was an old farmer guy. Now, what do you know about that, and how much involvement do you have in that case? You remember that? Okay. Now, did he just kind of come out of the house, or you meet him at the door when this happened? Or what happened?
I'm not involved. I didn't do that. I saw the AK's been around, but.
Do you know who did it?
Yeah, but.
But you didn't do it?
Nah.
Did somebody you know do it? Did it happen after you got back from camping or before?
I don't know.
If you didn't do it, how do you know about it?
I mean, I heard about it. I heard about some guy got shot, you know, with the AK up in Tampa, but.
With the AK?
I know. You can check ballistics and figure that out, can't you?
Okay. So what you're telling me, you knew it was an AK
Yeah, I didn't have anything.
Okay.
I mean, you check ballistics.
Okay, I'm just looking at you. Would you tell me the truth if you had shot that guy? Hmm?
Yeah, but I was wondering, am I off SP?
They're taking care of that at the jail.
Do you know if it's been figured out?
I was told just a little bit ago that they were prepared to go ahead and take you off of it in the next day or so, so that's probably happening today. Okay? There's no way
Could you check before I go over there just to see if it...
I'll do what I can. I'll call over there and say, you want to be off at SP and you're not suicidal. We'll do that. Mr. Confessori, when he takes you over there, I'll ask him to tell them the same thing. Okay? You confused me a little bit when I asked you about this Tampa thing.
Why is that?
Well, I asked you about it. You said you had nothing to do with it.
But they just, all they need to do is check the ballistics. And I know I had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Do you know who did it? Okay.
I'm not from Tampa.
Okay. Well, it's kind of the outskirts of Tampa, like a little farming community area.
Hillsborough.
Yeah, it's kind of big, and they have farming areas too.
That's right.
Not Tampa proper.
I know. It's more basically North Tampa. Or not downtown Tampa or anything. It's Hillsborough out there. I'm familiar with the region and everything because I'm around there. But
Okay. All right. Let me see how long it's going to be before they take you out. I think it's just a few minutes.
make sure you do that though.
Well, I got to work on getting hold of your lawyer this afternoon. We'll talk to the people at the jail about your SP status. So we got some phone calls to make to take care of that. But we'll take care of that, okay? Okay. All right, well, almost ready. Let me ask you one other thing. Every time I come in here, there's one other thing, ain't it? You told me about reading some murder mysteries. You read books or magazines or something, and you kind of, I guess, enjoyed reading that stuff. Then you told me that real life is kind of different from what you read. Okay? Kind of help me understand do you think this kind of stuff prompted you to behave like this?
Well, instead I kind of created my own little world and I was living it. I created my own little world.
Do you watch movies?
Not really much for TV.
I saw where you'd rented some movies, Cape Fear, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah,
what was the other one?
Silence of the Lambs, Cape Fear. I have a lot of them. Jason Bourne. I like.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of murder movies?
Mm-hmm.
Do you? Okay. Did that play any role in your decision to shoot people?
I don't know. I want to say that, but
You don't think?
I enjoy murder movies. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but it's about the only thing I do watch, like Silence of the Lambs, National Born Killers, stuff like that.
Good. Do you watch any other sort of movie? Or is that the kind of stuff you go for?
That's pretty much it.
You don't watch comedies or anything?
TV or comedies or anything.
Okay. It
Pulp
could,
Fiction, Blood.
yeah. All right. Somebody characterized you as a serial killer in the making. Do you agree with that? If you hadn't been locked up for the past couple of weeks, do you think you would have killed again by now?
I don't know if I would have done it again because of, I didn't really like the last time.
Why don't you think you enjoyed that?
I don't know why I wouldn't. But, when if you were to talk to, all my life, the first time I ever got big reacted was when I was 9. It was because I was starting to kill my foster parents. And it's all my life, it's like no surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, even when I was released they were saying, I don't want to release you because I think you're going to go out there and kill somebody.
Who told you that?
Teach your name, but
Is that from Sago Palms?
that's from, I got 1,000 incident reports for threatening to kill the staff there, but Omega.
Oh, now, where was his last spot that you stayed? Sago Palms?
Omega Juvenile Prison. And, you know, Miss Wilson and all of them. I stayed there for 4 years. You know, Miss Wilson and all of them. Miss Wilson said I was a sociopath and whatnot. She pissed me off. And so I was like, you know, and I was supposed to, when I got out, I was supposed to, you know, go to counseling and whatnot for it, but I didn't. Because it never followed up, so. But they knew, I mean, they've got thousands of things they confiscated. I was the first one to, like, they were always taking shanks out of my room and whatnot. And I was the only one to do that, the first one.
Did you want to kill some staff members?
Yeah, I mean, I tried, but and they knew everybody there, you know, just about everybody there knew. And I was teaching people there how to.
Were you at Omega after Sago Palms?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you heard Sago Palms, they probably thought I was the Antichrist. If you've been, because that's when I was really young. I really didn't give a, you know. But in Omega, I was like the worst inmate they've ever had.
And where's Omega? What town?
Dixie County. That's ran by Manatee County.
By Bradenton. Okay.
It's in Palmetto, but it's by Bradenton, ran by Manatee County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, I've been down that way before. Okay.
And, you know, they knew. They knew. I mean, they got letters and confiscated letters. And, you know.
Well, I'm just trying to figure here, if these two people in the forest didn't treat you bad, I mean, what prompted you to kill them? Just curiosity?
I really don't know. I really can't explain that.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying. If I do something bad to you, or you feel threatened in some way, then obviously you would have a reason to defend yourself.
Right.
But apparently they didn't do any of that. They just, you caught them in a bad
I
place.
always kind of feel threatened around other people. I mean, one thing they were right about is, I was very antisocial, you know. But
Do you think they deserved what you did?
I mean, I kind of like what people deserve and whatnot, you know. Kind of like lost touch with that. You know?
You don't really
I can't say I like regained it. I wish I did, but you know. When I kind of think, you know, sometimes I don't feel right, you know, but other times, you know, I really don't. Like, you know, I'm facing the death penalty or life in prison. More than likely the death penalty because of all the, you know, media attention and whatnot. And, you know, that should scare me, but in reality, that's, like, exciting.
So you're excited to be a death penalty candidate?
Not so much to be the candidate, but just, I kind of, you know what I mean?
Okay. Do you care what happened to the victims, or does that bother you?
I just don't think about it. I just really don't.
Do you ever think about their parents and their family and make you feel bad?
I don't think about it. I mean, I wish I could sit here and bullshit, you know, and say that and say, I'm really remorseful and everything, and that would make me look good on the case, but I'd be lying to you. I mean, I wish I was, you know.
Okay. Well, all you can do is tell me the truth.
No, I'm not so much remorseful. I'm just so much as just being in the
You're more worried about your skin than anything else.
I'm not worried about my skin. Like I said, did I come here and say I'm going to plea bargain or anything? Did I try to fight this case? Obviously, I'm not really worried.
I agree with you.
But, you know, like I told you before, whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. I'm not worried about myself. What I'm saying is, as far as, you know, they're concerned, I know I should feel bad and whatnot, but, you know, it's like, I've been locked up since I was 12. It's a whole nother world. It's hard to explain. The way y'all think and function. Like when I got out, for the 4 months that I've been out, nothing was like it was. Because I learned to like give it all up.
Okay, I sure will.
Like McDonald's meal, you know, some people might think that was like a big thing after being in jail for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Just so used to jail food, you don't really even food, movies, like you said, TV.
Mm-hmm.
Only a few movies that, you know, I like.
What's your favorite movie?
Silence of the Lambs, probably.
What's that about?
It's,
I'm not a big movie person.
You don't know Silence of the Lambs?
I've heard of the title.
He's a psychiatrist, but he's also like the really brainiac, you know, he's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like the worst, and he's like really, you know, he's a serial killer and whatnot. But he was a cannibal, not cannibal. But he was a cannibal. And, you know,
So you would never eat people?
it's just don't, you know. It's like,
Okay.
just don't.
Who's the star of that movie?
Hannibal Lecter.
And what's his name in real life? I think I've seen a few scenes of what you're talking about.
And then there's Hannibal, and there's 3 movies. And then, I don't really watch the movies.
Do you think you pattern yourself after him to a certain degree? I mean, I know you don't eat people, but... Do you fantasize about maybe if I...
His logic, maybe, like...
Is he remorseful about people that get killed? No.
Far from it. But that, I want to say, like, my feelings and stuff come from him because I was like, I studied a lot of stuff. Like, when I was in, I got basically my high school diploma when I was 16. I didn't get it because they don't give it to you until you leave because then the school doesn't get paid. But I got all my credits and stuff. Mm-hmm. And from there on, I started studying weapons and explosives. And I did it right in front of their nose. And finally, they figured out what I was doing. That's what got them mad. And I still kept finding ways to do it. Like figure out how to make bombs and whatnot. And, I'd quiz because a lot of the deputies there were ex-special forces and whatnot because they were doing boot camp stuff and whatnot. And I'd manipulate. They said I was a manipulator, and I'd manipulate them into talking about it and giving away how to do things.
Do you agree with that? Are you pretty sharp about manipulating conversations?
I used to, I used to know what I was doing. Just to get information, though, I'd manipulate people to get the information, talk about, how they did it and how they, make, everything from, how to make explosives and whatnot. And I would write it all down and whatnot and study it, and then I'd teach it to other people. I was responsible for, 1 minute I would start just to test, 1 minute I'd start in there, I'd start a gang. And then I'd just turn it over and let it go by itself. And I don't really care about gang stuff or trying to be a thug or anything like that. Okay. And the second, I'd turn around and I'd start a racist organization, just to see if I could do that. And these people would both know that I did this and that, but yet they, and they, they blame me for a lot because they blame me for bringing down a lot of people, But it was really the only thing I found that I could do, and there was nothing, I could do.
It's a sort of entertainment for you?
It was then. The world, violence is my world.
Yeah.
That's what raised me, If you want a scary thought, the state, that's my dad, really. And so you think you get on, people about not raising their kids right. Well, the state raised me all the way from foster care on up, so I'm a product of the state, I don't blame it on nobody, though. That's one thing, and I don't ask for pity. That's one thing, like you'll find out in my past, people take pity on me. I don't talk to them, I don't fuck with them, It gets me pissed off. I don't like people to pity me. I don't use that excuse. I'm not trying to make an excuse now, whatever happens.
You're just being straight up, I understand.
I'm being straight up, Might think it's like cold-blooded, and whatnot, and it's kind of cold-hearted and everything, but,
Well, I mean, if you look at it, if you step back and look at it as an outsider, if you're, crouched in the bushes and sniping people with a rifle, that is sort of cold-blooded, right?
Well, you could say that if that's your so.
Yeah, but the definition of cold-blooded killer is somebody who does what you did. Mm-hmm. And
I'd have no problem. I would have loved to go in the army or something like that. I would, go to Iraq and everything. I would have done that. I would have been awesome. But unfortunately, I couldn't do that because of my record.
Right.
None of that was an option to me because of what I did when I was 12 years old.
Okay, I understand. I'm not jabbing you for not being in the Army or Marine Corps or anything like that. I'll just point out a simple definition because you brought up the cold-blooded thing. That's all. All right. You and I talked about the forest killings. You spoke to the Clearwater folks about you shooting some guy down there in the white car. I guess you gave them the names of the driver and some guys in the back seat. We talked about the Hillsborough County question about did you have anything to do with a case over that way. You said no. So confirmed from what we've learned today in this marathon per se is that you're responsible for the death of 3 people.
Right. And when I was talking to them, the thing was I wanted to make sure, Oh,
Are there any other murder cases out there anywhere that you're not telling us about yet? Okay, is there a fourth victim, fifth, sixth, anything like that? Okay, can we honestly say here today that you're responsible for only 3 people dying, period?
As far as I know, I mean, I've done things, right? But, I never stuck around to see what happened, like I was telling them today. Now, like, the whole thing wasn't like the whole reason for coming to, thing. I was running from that one,
Okay.
That's the whole reason for bringing the AK on. I wasn't coming to kill, 2 people. I was running, and damn sure if someone was going to follow me, I was damn sure going to protect myself,
Who did you think would follow you? Some drug dealer?
Well, the guy was pretty well liked.
Would you shoot the police if they'd come up on you?
Honestly, I mean, this is just digging my hole deeper, but I don't know if you can dig. Yeah, I would have shot back.
Well, how come you didn't shoot the guy that picked you up hitchhiking?
I was wondering about that, but you seem like just certain people I can connect with sometimes. Plus, I didn't know how to drive a stick shift anyways.
Do you think you would have killed him if he had an automatic?
Then there would have been a reason, I guess. So maybe.
So you thought about killing him? Okay. Did you think about
it? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, did I think about it? Yeah, but
Okay. Well, you had the rifle with you. Did you think about killing anybody on the bus?
Yeah, I figured I could have probably took the whole bus, but.
Why didn't you shoot people on the bus?
Because I always wanted to be out in the wilderness. Wanted to get there.
What about the trip back home? How come you didn't shoot those people on the trip back to Clearwater?
Because my brother had called and left a message on the phone, saying, just come back, just come back for a while. And when I came back, I said I'm about to disappear again pretty soon. But actually, I was going to disappear the night that you guys.
Did you think about killing the taxi driver?
Well, the one that took me out into the woods, yeah, but then I figured then they were going to search the woods and I wanted to be able to stay out there.
Okay. Did you think about shooting somebody at the hotel?
No.
Okay. Who else did you think about shooting and killing?
A lot of people.
In Marion County?
Just about every person that worked at Marion County.
What about Marion County? This is where we're at now. Anybody else?
Didn't know anybody. Well,
okay. Let me ask you this. If somebody treats you nice, do you still think about killing them?
Mm-hmm.
Or why did you shoot the 2 campers? They didn't treat you bad.
That was kind of different because I didn't know them, period. We really didn't treat, period. And they didn't really treat me anyway. Like the one girl was just signing on and talking to me. You know what I mean? They didn't really talk and sit on the trails that way. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we were friends or whatnot and things. So,
okay.
But normally when people treat me nice, like, no problem. Like there was a couple deputies, at Omega that would have been straight with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Deputy Strout, he was straight with me.
So you're just looking for people that are fair with you and don't dog you or something. Okay.
Are you going to be the one that tells them that I said contact them?
Yeah, I'm going to tell the prosecutor that you told me you wanted to come to this meeting on Friday.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, I'm going to call.
If my PD doesn't get to me before then, I know he was going to try to dismiss it. Well, I want to stop that from happening. So.
He can't dismiss a grand jury.
No, but this is a request to come. And so,
it's an invitation for you to testify.
Right, and what he was going to do was decline the invitation automatically.
But you want to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to work that out with him. But I'm going to call the prosecutor. I'll tell him to call your defense attorney. And then I'm going to let the lawyers work that out, okay? Because that's really not anything that I have any control over. But I'll start the wheels turning so the 2 lawyers can work those details out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll call about the SP thing at the jail.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like I said, if you could check at the jail, I don't mess with anybody or anything, but when they start messing with me like SP and stuff, then that makes me want to, get mad and whatnot and buck and, why you put me on SP? I'm not SP. It's not like I can do much. It's not like I'm going to probably see freedom again, so, before I die, I'm not going to see freedom again, so why you guys got to fuck with me the most you can?
Yeah, well, Leo, I'm not fucking with you, and I'm sorry you got that impression, but hopefully things will change over there to satisfy you. I can't promise that.
It's not
We're
like
gonna
I'm
make it
demanding things and asking, please, don't give me the death penalty and I'll take life and I'll tell you everything about it. I really don't. Like I said, when I first came in, I don't care what you guys do with court-wise or whatnot. It's out of my hands, but stop with the mess with me and make the psychological games. No.
Yeah, well, I haven't played any psychological games with you. You ain't seen psychological until I try to pull something over on you. And I haven't done that today.
But they've done it all my life, so I've seen it.
I think you've been shooting straight with me.
I have.
And so there's no need for psychological games.
I'm shooting straight with
I don't think you're...
Pinellas County made it up here.
I'm not fucking with you, and I don't think you're effing with me either. So I think we got along very well today. I mean, fair is fair, and I think we were just talking truthfully back and forth with each other, okay? Let me get with my guys. I think they're ready to take you back, and I guess I'll put that thing around your wrist again, so.
I just know, because I just don't want to go back on SP.
Okay, well, we're going to make them aware of that.
Go back over the jail. All right, this is what I need you to do. Do me a favor. Go ahead and put that down on the chair. Or actually, let me see it. Let's see this. All right, turn around for me. Turn around. All right, just hold your hands up. All right, turn back around. Put your hand in there.
Just talk to the prosecutor. He's calling Bill Miller now. Okay?
All right.
Now, you guys, when you get to the jail, mention that he has no suicidal ideation and that he wants to be off of suicide or SP. If you would pass that along to the person in charge of the jail.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. All right, Leo. Good luck to you.
All right, go ahead and grab that. Yeah, step over there then. Step over. Step. There you go. There you go. Come on. You got it. Actually, I gotta grab something off my desk. Okay. I don't have to go back over here. I'll be right back.
Leo Boatman has basically been incarcerated since the age of 12. He was born in a mental institution, put up for adoption as an infant, and abused throughout his childhood from relatives to foster parents. There is no excuse for what he has done, but one has to feel for anyone that has a childhood like he did. In 2010, Boatman received an additional 7-year sentence for the attempted murder of an inmate in Dixie County, Florida, and another 15-year sentence for a third-degree murder in Charlotte County in 2013. The kid just wanted to kill. Leo's final victim, well, they say it's his fourth and final so far, but after watching this interrogation and a bit of assumption, I believe there were more. He murdered his cellmate, William Chapman, on July 5th, 2019. His accomplice, William Wells, was given the death sentence. A few months later, Leo Boatman received the same penalty. I am currently working on getting some of the interviews from these cases. Leo Boatman is currently on death row and serving out his time at Union Correctional Institution in Rayford, Florida. Thank you so much for watching. Much more is coming, so we will see you in the next one.